It's that time of year again. The air smells like anxiety, iced coffee, and highlighters. Someone's crying in the library bathroom. Someone else hasn't started studying and insists, "I work better under pressure." Midterms. They test not just your GPA, but your soul. Here's the thing. How you prepare for exams isn't random. It's wired into your personality type. Some people start color-coding notes 2 months early. Some pull all-nighters powered purely by panic and caffeine. And others, they're still trying to find the syllabus. Today, we're diving into all 16 MBTI types, how each one handles midterm season, what drives them crazy, and how they somehow, or miraculously, make it through. If you love painfully accurate, hilariously relatable MBTI breakdowns that make you say, "That's literally me during finals week," hit like, tap subscribe, and drop your type in the comments below. Because here, we don't just talk about personalities, we cram them the night before the exam. Let's hit the library, or the coffee shop, or the mental breakdown phase. These 4 treat midterms like military operations. There's a plan, there's a system, there's probably a spreadsheet. The ISTJ started preparing the day the syllabus dropped. Their notes are immaculate, color-coded, labeled, and backed up in 3 locations. They've read every chapter twice and made practice questions for fun. When groupmates panic the night before, they'll calmly say, "It's all in the shared Google Drive," and go to bed at 10 p.m. Their weakness? Stress headaches from watching everyone else's chaos. Their strength? Consistency so terrifying it makes professors smile. The ESTJ has a study plan and expects everyone else to follow it. They've scheduled study sessions, booked the group room, and already emailed the professor for clarification on question formats. They're the friend texting, "Are you coming?" when you're still in bed. They lead, they quiz, they dominate. And if the group fails, they'll be quietly furious that no one followed their perfectly organized plan. But they'll still ace the exam because efficiency never sleeps. The INTJ has been low-key preparing since week 1, not out of fear, but strategy. They've optimized their study method, analyzed past exams, and built a minimalist Notion dashboard titled "Dominate Midterms." They'll take breaks on schedule, drink black coffee, and silently judge anyone studying at the last minute. If they don't get an A, they'll simply say, "I miscalculated the professor's grading bias," and then adjust their system for next time. The ENTJ doesn't just want to pass, they want the highest score. They run their study group like a board meeting. "You handle chapter 3, I'll summarize the theories." They thrive on pressure and will proudly announce how little sleep they've gotten while somehow looking flawless. Their favorite part of midterms? Outperforming their rivals and pretending it was effortless. When grades come out, they're already planning next semester's conquest. The planners conquer with precision, but for the next group, midterms are less about strategy and more about emotionally surviving them. These 4 study with their hearts first, brains second, and their emotional support snacks close by. The ISFJ studies early, takes beautiful notes, and reminds everyone else of deadlines. They'll check on their friends more than themselves, saying things like, "You okay? Did you eat?" while clearly running on 4 hours of sleep. When the test starts, they'll have 5 pens, tissues, and a spare calculator. For someone else, of course. They quietly ace the exam and celebrate by finally sleeping for 12 hours straight. The INFJ approaches midterms like a spiritual trial. They'll spend hours rereading notes, overanalyzing their professor's tone, and wondering if this exam will define their future. They need peace and structure, so they'll retreat into a cozy corner with lo-fi music and tea. They'll write flashcards that double as motivational quotes and whisper, "You can do this," before every question. By the end, they're drained, but somehow still pull an A because of their quiet determination and deep focus. The ISFP swears they'll start studying after one more YouTube video, or coffee, or nap. They thrive on vibes, not schedules. But when the panic hits, they transform into a focused machine. Their notes are doodle-filled masterpieces, and they'll somehow turn cramming into an aesthetic experience. Candles, playlists, snacks arranged by color. They might cry mid-exam but still pass, proving that panic and passion are a surprisingly powerful combo. The INFP starts studying by reflecting on why education matters in the first place. They'll spend an hour color-coding a planner, 2 hours imagining future goals, and 0 minutes actually memorizing the formulas. When the night before panic hits, they study with intensity and emotion, fueled by coffee, tears, and Taylor Swift lyrics. They'll promise to be more consistent next semester, then repeat the exact same pattern. And honestly, it works for them. The feelers study from the soul, but the next group, they run on energy, chaos, and adrenaline. For these four, studying isn't about discipline, it's about survival under pressure. The ESTP hasn't opened the textbook since the first lecture, but don't worry, they've got it handled. They'll start studying the night before, speed read everything, and somehow retain it. They thrive under pressure, fueled by caffeine and confidence. They'll joke through the exam, finish early, and somehow score better than the people who studied for weeks. Their motto, "If I passed last time, I'll pass again." The ESFP turns studying into a social event. Study groups, pizza, music, learning is better with company. They highlight entire paragraphs, get distracted mid-sentence, then post a grind time story on Instagram. But when it's crunch time, they can focus like magic, especially if there's emotional support and snacks. They celebrate the end of midterms like it's New Year's Eve, with hugs, laughter, and relief that they survived yet again. The ENTP treats midterms like a game to beat. They won't memorize. They'll understand the logic behind the system. They'll procrastinate until the final 12 hours, then deep dive into every concept and emerge with chaotic genius. They love arguing with professors. But technically, isn't this interpretation also valid? And get partial credit just for charisma. Their downfall? Overconfidence? Their strength? Pulling off miracles at the buzzer. The ENFP starts midterm week with wild optimism. This time, I'm gonna study early. Cut to 1 a.m. the night before, surrounded by motivational quotes, snacks, and mild panic. They'll overthink one topic for hours, then realize the test is tomorrow. But when it matters most, they rally. Heart racing, mind firing, powered by emotion and hope. Afterward, they'll journal about lessons learned and repeat the same cycle next term. The action seekers burn bright, but when chaos reigns, the final group keeps things steady and grounded. These four bring calm, curiosity, and community to midterm madness. The ISTP looks unbothered, but don't be fooled. They've done the math. They know exactly how much effort is needed to pass and do just that. No more, no less. They study alone, fix broken calculators for fun, and shrug off stress like it's beneath them. They'll walk into the exam half asleep, finish early, and leave before anyone else flips their first page. The INTP doesn't study early, they study deeply. They'll start 3 days before, fall down 10 Wikipedia rabbit holes, and emerge an expert on topics barely relevant to the exam. Their desk looks like chaos, but their brain is quietly connecting every concept. They might forget to eat, sleep, or shower, but when the test hits, their mind is unstoppable. The ENFJ has a color-coded study plan, but it's for everyone else. They organize group sessions, explain concepts patiently, and make flashcards for friends who don't get it. They stress quietly, wanting everyone to succeed, and somehow neglect their own studying in the process. Still, their kindness pays off. They retain knowledge by teaching it. When grades come out, they're proud of everyone, not just themselves. The ESFJ starts early, studies hard, and snacks responsibly. They make study playlists, share notes, and bring coffee for their friends. They secretly fear disappointing anyone, so they over-prepare to avoid it. When midterms end, they're the one organizing the celebration brunch and reminding everyone to hydrate. So, how do you handle midterms? Are you the over-prepared planner, the emotional crammer, the chaos gremlin pulling an all-nighter, or the chilled genius who somehow passes anyway? Here's the truth. There's no single way to survive midterms, only your way. Your MBTI type doesn't decide your grade. It just reveals how you process pressure, plan, and power through. If this video called you out or made you laugh through your study stress, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We post MBTI deep dives that blend humor, insight, and just enough truth to make you rethink your life choices. Now it's your turn. Drop your type in the comments and tell us, what's your midterm ritual? Do you plan weeks ahead or start panicking at 2 a.m. with a coffee the size of your head? Whatever your method, good luck. You've got this. I'll see you after the curve drops.